trying to understand why they did the blackout. I almost understand, but black people have a hard time finding jobs that they think is worth their skill. And then when you do find a job, you think you're hurting the status quo, the powers that be, by not showing up for a whole week. And then, you know, you're going to be out of a job because you decided not to go. That's how that goes, right? You don't come to work, you get fired. I'm just curious. I think the blackout was a very, uh, it wasn't a very good thing to do. I would never suggest it. I don't know how powerful it was. I don't know how much it worked. I don't know the numbers. I don't, I could see not riding the bus. I could see not going to certain restaurants. I could see not paying certain things that would affect, the status quo, the people in position of power. I can see that, but I can't see not going to work. How you doing? I can't see not going and getting money because we need it. And it's hard out here. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was a working man in the regular 9 to 5, I'm not in the 9 to 5 no more. And somebody told me not to go to work, I would have to politely excuse myself from that conversation and tell them I'm going to work because I need my job, I need my money. I know what I had to do just to get here. I know how many times I've been fired just because of my skin color, you know, even by black people. I mean, black people have put the hammer down on me too. Black people will do you in. Black people will do you in. Don't think that just because police brutality is some type of cohesive that black people all of a sudden love each other. That's just not true. Black people, we have our issues, and they will do you. They will do you quick. You're most likely liable to get done in by a person of your color. You know what I'm saying? We know that the crime in our neighborhoods is, yeah. So I'm just saying, it's hard out here to get a job. I no longer am in the workforce. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the couple of million of men who are no longer in the workforce. I was taken out of the workforce by a black person and permanently injured. It changed my whole life by a black person. A car crash. So I don't understand the blackout when we as black people have such an obstacle to get jobs. We constantly throw those numbers in people's face who try to say we don't have it hard. We bring up these numbers that you can, get from some federal agency, and look at all these numbers, and why aren't we doing, good in school, and why aren't we, and all this other stuff. And then you start looking at it, all boils down to economics. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why you don't have, the reason why you don't have the best schools is because of the taxes that go into that school system from the housing area that you live in. You know what I'm saying? That's how these schools have such, these schools do good. You get these nice schools and whatnot. Then you got the schools that are a block away do terrible. is because of the amount of dollars that go into that school, tax dollars from that area. This is also why they put people in jail who send their kids to the neighboring school that is a better school. This is a crime now, okay? Because you're not paying taxes to that school. And if you don't pay taxes to that school, your child cannot go to that school. So it's all economic repression and depression. So if you have a nice neighborhood, you know, and the school in that neighborhood is going to be a nice school. If you have a neighborhood that's been depressed or repressed, the school in that neighborhood is going to have the same effect. So I just don't understand the whole, I just don't understand the whole, we're not going to go to work. I don't understand how that works. I never will. I will need some clarity on why black people would all of a sudden say, because police brutality, has been doing all this stuff to us for years, we're not going to go to work. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't to me. It just doesn't. I don't see how that's going or, stop police brutality. You not going to work. What it's going to do is put you in a bad economic position because you still need your money. This world runs on money. It doesn't run on love. You live in a system that is been, you know what I'm saying? You live in a system that has been developed and hijacked. Let's add that in there. The system you live in has been hijacked. Let's get this straight. Okay? The trading system that was here in America is no longer. There used to be a very significant trading system and or bartering system. And the Indians had this system well in place. Well in place. And other societies, back in biblical times, they had a system that was a bartering system. Even in the book of Leviticus, you hear, the prophets talking about, pay your tithe. They were talking about paying your tithes to the Levites who were priests. They were local priests. And what they would do is preach the word of God, but they didn't have a place to live. They didn't go out and work. Their job was to go out and save souls. Kind of like what the Salvation Army was in the beginning. That's kind of like what they were. The Salvation Army was to save your soul. But the Levites, this is what Levites did. So if you look in the book of Leviticus, it talks about this. This is why when people talk about give your 10% to the church, I'm like, no. So there's been bartering systems and trading systems that have been set up. Those systems have been hijacked by the dollar and the people who control the dollar. Those same people who control the dollar are controlling us. If you control the gold, you control the people. You control the economical system. That's what's going on here. A good system has been hijacked and taken over by greedy people. And the federal government at one time, when Robert Kennedy was in office, he was going to sign an executive order, which is Executive Order 1111, and it was going to pretty much take the power away from the banks. And of course, we know what happened to him and his brother. And recently, this year, his great niece just got offed. She was only 20 something. So, nonetheless, what I'm saying is, for black people to all of a sudden stop stop working, not going to work for jobs that they like. This is not, jobs that are, demeaning to them. This is jobs that they want. These are educated people in some shape, form, or fashion. And they go, we're not going to work at this job because of police brutality. I just can't figure out how that helps the cause against police brutality. It doesn't defund the police. That's not going to happen. It doesn't take money away. Listen, you're not hurting corporate if you decide not to go to work because they're just going to find somebody else to put in your place. Hell, they might not even find somebody. They might have an automated system. That's a thing now. There are a lot of people who are losing their work. Listen, I've seen it firsthand. I worked for Honda. Okay? I temped for Honda for years. And you think that humans are painting those cars? No. When you see those Hondas and those Acuras and those Honda Gold Wings roll off the lot, none of those have been painted by a human hand. Not one. Not one. Humans don't even put them together. Who do you think cuts the metal? Humans ain't cutting the metal. They do have welders, but the machine does the welding. I'm just trying to tell you. Now, putting in the radio, putting in the seats, and putting things into the car, yes. Doing spot welding and stuff like that if need to, absolutely. But humans don't put that car together. They don't. Listen, in the Honda line, Honda in Marysville has two lines. They have two lines. They run 2 shifts, 3 shifts if they have to, but usually 2 shifts, right? Each shift is 8.5 hours. In that 8.5 hours, they put out 595 cars each shift. All right? So you do your times 4 and you come out with whatever number, right? That is in one day. Humans are not doing that. They're not doing that. The part that now humans do a lot of hands-on stuff when it comes to help building the cars. They help move certain things so it can be put together in the right way. They'll do some riveting and stuff like that. Oh yeah, some of that does happen now. There needs to be humans to do it. But the heavy lifting, oh, you can forget it. You can forget it. Humans aren't doing that. They don't do that. I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense for the blackout. And I understand the movement. I understand the need for a movement. But for black people to say, we're not going to go to work for a week to be in solidarity with police brutality makes absolutely no sense to me. That's to me. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. But I don't think it helped. If somebody can show me the numbers, and I don't mean passion. I don't want to hear about passion. Well, if you're passionate, I don't eat passion. I can't eat passion. I go to work, I get the dollar, I go to the store, trade that dollar for food. I can't trade passion. So maybe one of you educated people can fill me in on the whole purpose of the blackout. Because I'm seeing videos of people going, I lost a lot of money because of the blackout. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about the blackout. Yes, it's not going to just affect one person when you decide not to go to work, especially when you have mass numbers deciding, we're not going to go to work. It affects a lot of people. And you have a lot of people complaining about that now. So I don't get it. Maybe somebody can educate me. I would love to know. I would love to hear what came out of that. I just do. Anyways, I don't have anything else to say about it. I just don't think that it did any good. I really don't. And, yeah. It's your boy Tone Tone too. Peace.